Okay, so let's be real. Who actually likes dealing with receipts and invoices and all that? Trying to figure out where all your money went.
Yeah, it's definitely not the most exciting part of running a business.
It's like a universal chore, right? Everyone has to deal with this stuff.
Absolutely. It's
Uh,
the financial side of adulting that we'd all rather avoid.
Exactly. But what's so interesting is that even this dreaded task of bookkeeping, it's being totally transformed by artificial
Oh,
intelligence.
yeah, it's happening. And it's causing some really big changes in how we think about finance.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We found this super insightful article from Meritorious Consultants LLC.
Oh, yeah, I read that one.
It's called AI and Bookkeeping, Revolutionizing Financial Management.
Catchy title.
I know, right? And the thing is, whether you're already running a business or thinking about starting one, or even if you're just curious about how technology is changing things, this deep dive is going to give you some serious food for thought.
I think so, too. There's
Yeah.
a lot to unpack here.
All right, so first things first. Back to basics. What exactly is bookkeeping, and why should we even care about it?
I think the article had a really good definition. It basically says that bookkeeping is like creating a detailed financial history of your business.
So it's like a financial diary, keeping track of all the money coming in and going out.
Exactly. But it's not just about recording the past. It's about using that information to make smart decisions about your business.
Okay, so like making sure you're managing cash flow correctly, paying the right taxes, planning for the future.
Exactly. Without accurate bookkeeping, you're basically flying blind.
It's like having a roadmap for your finances.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So how is AI changing this whole bookkeeping thing? The article talked a lot about automation being a game changer.
Oh, absolutely. AI is taking over some of the most tedious parts of bookkeeping.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, so imagine this. You snap a photo of a receipt, right? And the AI uses something called optical character recognition, or OCR, to pull all the data from that receipt, the date, that who you paid, and it automatically puts it into your accounting system.
Wait, so no more manually typing in every little detail? That sounds kind of too good to be true. How does OCR even work?
It's pretty amazing technology.
Yeah.
Basically, OCR teaches computers to read text from images.
Mm.
It's not just for receipts either. You can use it to scan documents or digitize old records.
Oh, wow.
But in bookkeeping, it's a total game changer for data entry.
So it's like having a super-powered assistant who never gets tired of typing numbers.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But it goes even further than just automation. The article talks about how AI is actually becoming a smart assistant in bookkeeping.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. What did they mean by that?
Well, AI can do things like categorize your expenses,
Mm.
reconcile your bank accounts, and even flag anything suspicious that could be potential fraud.
Wow. So it's like having a 247 watchdog for your finances. Okay. I'm starting to see why people are calling this an AI revolution in bookkeeping. But for the average person running a business, what does all this actually mean? What's the benefit for them?
Well, think about it. Instead of spending hours manually entering data, reconciling accounts, chasing down receipts, you have AI doing all the heavy lifting.
So you're freeing up a ton of time and energy.
Exactly. And that means you can focus on actually running and growing your business instead of getting bogged down in the nitty-gritty.
So it's not just about being faster, it's about having more time to be strategic and creative.
Exactly. And on that note, AI in bookkeeping isn't just about recording the past. It can actually use your financial data to predict things,
Oh, really? Like what kind of things?
like cash flow trends, future revenue, and it can even help you create more accurate budgets.
Okay, so it's like having a financial crystal ball. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
How accurate are these AI predictions, though?
Well, that's a great question. The predictions get better over time as they analyze more of your data. But it's important to remember they're not foolproof. These predictions are based on past trends, and unexpected things can always happen.
Of course. So it's a powerful tool, but not a guaranteed fortune teller.
Exactly.
Okay, so AI can save a ton of time and potentially help businesses make smarter decisions. But are there any downsides, any risks we should be aware of?
Yeah, that's a really important point. And our source definitely doesn't shy away from the challenges. One of the biggest concerns is data security.
Makes sense. We're
Right.
talking about really sensitive financial information here.
Exactly. So before businesses jump into AI bookkeeping, they need to be asking some tough questions about how their data is being protected.
Like what kind of questions?
Well, they should be looking for solutions that comply with all the relevant data protection regulations, offer strong encryption, and have strict access controls so that only authorized people can see the financial data.
So not all AI bookkeeping solutions are created equal.
Definitely not. You need to do your research and choose a provider that takes data security seriously. But that's not the only challenge. We also have to think about integrating AI into existing systems.
Right, because a lot of businesses have been using the same financial software for years.
Exactly. And trying to merge those older systems with new AI-powered tools can be tricky. That
Yeah.
might require some IT expertise and some investment to make everything work together smoothly.
So some businesses might face some growing pains during that transition.
That's a fair assessment. Now let's talk about the human side of things. Our source brings up an interesting point about the skills gap that AI might create in the bookkeeping world.
A skills gap. What do you mean by that?
Well, as AI takes over more routine bookkeeping tasks, like data entry and reconciliation, financial professionals need to adapt and learn new skills.
So they don't become obsolete.
Exactly. It's not about being replaced by robots, but about learning how to work alongside them effectively.
So it's a challenge, but also an opportunity for financial professionals to level up their skills.
Exactly. They'll need to become more proficient in things like data analysis, interpreting AI-generated reports, and providing strategic financial advice.
So the role of the bookkeeper is evolving, but it's not going away.
Definitely not. It's just becoming more strategic and less about number crunching.
So AI is handling the grunt work and allowing humans to focus on the bigger picture. That sounds like a pretty exciting shift.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it raises a really important question. If AI can manage our finances so well, what other aspects of business could it potentially transform? And what new opportunities might that create?
Those are great questions. But before we jump down that rabbit hole, let's take a minute to recap what we've learned so far about this AI revolution in bookkeeping.
Sounds good. Let's break it down. So we've been talking about how AI is changing the bookkeeping game.
Yeah, it's really automating a lot of those tasks that used to take forever.
Exactly. And that frees up time for business owners and financial professionals to focus on the stuff that really matters.
Right. It's not just about working faster, but about working smarter and having more time to think strategically.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that this AI revolution isn't some far-off thing. It's happening right now.
Yeah, that's a great point. The article we're looking at from Meritorious Consultants actually highlights a bunch of real-world examples of businesses that are already using AI for their bookkeeping.
And they're seeing some pretty impressive results.
I bet. So let's talk about some of those benefits in more detail, shall we? The article mentions increased efficiency and productivity as a major advantage.
Oh, for sure. Automation means businesses can process way more transactions much faster and with fewer errors.
Right. And that speed and accuracy frees up employees to focus on things that require a little more brain power.
Exactly. Instead of being stuck doing manual data entry, they can use their skills for things like financial analysis, problem solving, and coming up with creative ways to grow the business.
Love that. So it's not just about saving time, it's about using that time more effectively.
Totally. It's about letting AI do what it's good at so humans can focus on what they're good at.
Makes sense. And it's not just about time saving and productivity. AI can also improve accuracy and reduce errors, which is huge for bookkeeping.
Oh, absolutely. Let's face it, humans make mistakes, especially when you're doing repetitive and detail-oriented work like data entry or reconciliation.
I'm definitely guilty of that.
But AI can minimize those errors by following consistent rules and eliminating human slip-ups.
So you're saying AI is basically like a super-powered calculator that never makes a mistake.
Pretty much. And that means fewer errors, more reliable financial records, and ultimately better decision-making.
It's like having a safety net for your finances, knowing that the numbers are always accurate and up to date.
Exactly. Speaking of numbers, let's not forget about cost savings.
Right. The article talked about that too. It makes sense. If you're using AI to automate tasks, you're probably saving money on labor costs.
Definitely. Think about all those hours spent on data entry reconciliation, chasing down receipts. Those hours add up quickly.
And they translate into real dollars and cents.
Absolutely. Plus, AI can help businesses avoid those costly errors that sometimes slip through the cracks with manual bookkeeping.
Yeah, that's a huge benefit. So AI is a win-win for the bottom line.
It really is.
Yeah.
And here's another advantage that's super important in today's business world: scalability and flexibility.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. As businesses grow, their financial needs change too.
Exactly. And AI-powered bookkeeping solutions can grow right alongside your business. They can handle more transactions and more complex data without needing a bunch of extra staff.
So it's like having a bookkeeping system that expands as your business expands.
Exactly. And that kind of flexibility is essential for businesses that are growing quickly, or operating in unpredictable markets.
I can see that. So we've got increased efficiency, enhanced accuracy, cost savings, scalability. And let's not forget about one of the most exciting aspects of all of this data-driven decision making.
Oh yeah, this is where AI really starts to shine.
Tell me more.
By giving businesses real-time financial insights, AI helps them make smarter decisions, spot trends, and identify opportunities that they might have missed otherwise.
So it's like having a financial dashboard that's constantly updating, giving you a clear picture of your business's health at any given moment.
Exactly. Imagine being able to track your cash flow in real time, seeing the impact of every transaction as it happens,
That would be amazing.
or being able to spot spending patterns and find areas where you could cut costs or optimize your budget.
It's all about using data to make smarter, more strategic decisions that help your business grow.
Exactly.
So to recap, we've talked about increased efficiency, enhanced accuracy, cost-saving scalability, and data-driven decision-making. That's a pretty impressive list of benefits.
It really is. But we also need to remember those challenges we discussed earlier and make sure we're addressing them proactively.
Right, we can't just ignore the potential downsides.
Exactly. And our source for Meritorious Consultants does a good job of laying out some of those challenges.
Okay, so let's dive into those a little deeper. First up, data security and privacy. That's always a big concern when we're talking about sensitive information, especially financial data.
For sure. Businesses need to be super careful when choosing an AI bookkeeping solution. They need to make sure it meets all the data protection regulations and has strong cybersecurity measures in place.
So things like encryption access controls regular security audits.
Exactly. It's not something to take lightly.
Definitely not. And what about integrating AI into existing systems? A lot of businesses have been using the same financial software for years, and it might not be easy to switch over to something new.
That's right. It can take a lot of IT resources and expertise to make sure all the systems are talking to each other properly.
And for smaller businesses, that can be a real barrier.
Yeah, the long-term benefits of AI are clear, but there can be some bumps in the road during that initial implementation phase.
It's all about weighing the long-term benefits against the short-term costs and challenges.
Exactly. Now let's talk about another really important factor, the impact of AI on the workforce.
Right. The article talked about potential skill gaps and the need for training and upskilling.
Exactly. As AI takes over more routine bookkeeping tasks, financial professionals need to adapt and learn new skills to stay relevant.
So it's not about losing jobs, it's about learning how to work with AI effectively.
Exactly. The role of the bookkeeper is changing. It's becoming more strategic and less focused on just crunching numbers.
So instead of manually entering data or reconciling accounts, they might be analyzing AI-generated reports or providing financial advice.
That's the idea. It's about embracing the opportunity to upskill and become more valuable in this new world of AI-powered finance.
And it's important for businesses to invest in training and development to help their employees make that transition.
Absolutely. If they don't, they risk falling behind.
So we've talked about data security integration and the impact on the workforce. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the cost of implementing AI solutions.
Yeah, there are upfront costs involved both for the software itself and for training your team.
So even though AI can save money in the long run, businesses need to make sure the initial investment makes sense for their budget.
Right. It's all about understanding the potential return on investment and making a strategic decision based on your specific needs.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from the exciting benefits of AI in bookkeeping to the potential challenges that businesses need to be aware of.
It's a complex topic, but it's incredibly important for anyone working in finance these days.
And as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I think it's clear that AI is already changing the world of bookkeeping, and that impact is only going to grow in the future.
Absolutely. We're still in the early stages of this AI revolution, and it's fascinating to think about what the future holds.
Speaking of the future, remember at the end of the last segment, we were talking about the broader implications of AI in business.
Right. We were discussing how AI's ability to manage our finances so well makes us wonder what other areas of business could benefit from this kind of technology.
And I'm still super curious about those other areas. So let's shift our focus now and explore some of those possibilities.
Sounds good to me. Let's see where this conversation takes us. All right, so we're back.
And we've been talking all about AI and bookkeeping.
Yeah, it's been a pretty deep dive.
It has, but now I think it's time to zoom out a little bit and think about the bigger picture.
Yeah, we've talked about how AI is changing the way we handle our finances, all those benefits and challenges.
Right, but now I want to think about what this means for the business world as a whole.
Yeah, that's the really exciting part.
If AI can do something as complex as bookkeeping, what other areas of business could it potentially transform?
Ooh, that's a great question. It opens up a ton of possibilities.
Let's brainstorm for a minute.
Yep.
What are some areas that come to mind for you?
Well, one area that's already being disrupted by AI is customer service.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We've all talked to those chatbots on websites, right?
Right. And those are just the beginning. AI is being used to create virtual assistants that can handle all sorts of customer interactions.
It's like having a whole team of customer service reps who are available 24/7 and never get tired or frustrated.
Exactly. And as AI gets smarter, those interactions are only going to get more sophisticated.
I can imagine a future where AI customer service agents can understand natural language and anticipate customer needs.
It's all about making things easier and more convenient for the customer.
And what about marketing and sales? Do you think AI has a role to play there?
Absolutely. AI is already being used to personalize marketing campaigns and target ads more effectively.
It's kind of creepy how those ads seem to know exactly what you're interested in.
Yeah, it's all thanks to AI. It's analyzing tons of data to figure out consumer behavior and predict what people want.
So we can expect even more targeted and personalized marketing in the future.
Oh, definitely. Imagine getting marketing messages that are so relevant to you, they actually feel helpful instead of annoying.
That would be nice. Now, what about operations and logistics? I know AI is being used to optimize supply chains and things like that.
Yeah, that's a huge area for AI. It can analyze data from all across the supply chain to identify bottlenecks, predict demand, and optimize delivery routes.
It's all about making those behind-the-scenes processes more efficient.
Exactly. And that efficiency saves businesses money, which is always a good thing.
Okay, so we've got customer service marketing and sales operations and logistics. It seems like AI has the potential to impact almost every area of business.
It really does. And it's not just about automating existing tasks. It's about creating completely new possibilities.
I love that idea, AI as an innovator.
Right. Imagine businesses being able to anticipate market trends before they happen, or create personalized products and services based on individual customer needs.
It's a pretty exciting future, but we also have to be mindful of the potential downsides.
Oh, absolutely. Things like data privacy and the impact on the workforce.
Right, we need to make sure we're using AI responsibly and ethically.
It's not just about the technology itself. It's about how we choose to use it.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into AI and its impact on the business world, I think it's safe to say that we're at a really pivotal moment.
Definitely.
Yeah.
AI has the power to transform the way we work and live,
Yeah.
and it's up to us to make sure we're using that power for good.
So to all our listeners out there, stay informed, stay curious, and stay engaged in this conversation about AI.
The future is being shaped right now, and we all have a role to play in shaping it.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI.
We hope you learned something new and that you're feeling inspired to think about all the incredible possibilities that lie ahead.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.